The purpose of this class is just to review a couple tools that people can use for penetration testing. Being the cheap ass I am, I like to do it as cheap as possible. So I've been looking around for different types of tools and everything that we can use that really don't cost much. Some of the tools are about 20 bucks. They allow you to pretty much own almost any type of network, depending on how you set up your tools and how the network's configured. You can almost give yourself a shell out to the parking lot or to your house or business or whatever you want to do. So yeah, it's just to be a cheap-ass pen tester and just to screw around with different tools. The first one is something called the mini phoner, and all it is basically a small $20 router that you can get from China, made by a company called TP-Link. The great thing about the mini phoner is it's got an Atheros chipset, so you can do Kismet, any type of air cracking from the device, and it runs off of 5 volts of power. So basically you can drop it pretty much anywhere. You can drop it onto a computer, you can plug it into the wall, as long as you're somewhere where there's either a network drop, if you want to get something to connect back, or you can even put it in your pocket and walk around the city and just do some sniffing in the city. You could do pretty much war walking, whatever you want to do. It's a great little device. It's about I would say like 20 bucks, 22 bucks for the device. You put like a 4 to 8 gig USB onto it where you can mount it and put a bunch of tools. There's Nmap you can put on there. Kismet works on there. Tor I got working on there finally. It's just a small computer. It's only got 32 megs of RAM built in. That's why it's great that it does have the USB on there, because you can pretty much mount it and put whatever you want on there. Again, small in size. It's 23 bucks. There was some guy that made found out this tool. He started up a site called miniphoner.com, where he was actually selling the device for about I think it was like 85 bucks to start. Then it jumped up to 99 bucks, and then 125 bucks. Now it's back down to 99 again. Being that he put the tool out there, claiming it did a couple things that it didn't do. People finally figured out how to do it on there. Programs such as Karma, which basically makes a fake access point and just says, you know, on this access point, connect to me. So somebody's actually got it running, but he's got it running in an image where if you aren't afraid to load his image, then you should be alright. You just basically pop it on there and you're good to go. Basically, what you would do is you would pretty much go into wherever you're testing at. You would bring this device with you, find somewhere like an open closet, you know, someone's desk. You can disguise it to whatever you want pretty much. You can you know, pretend it's an air filter or something like that. People really don't notice a lot of stuff plugged into their network, and they're not too secure. I mean, you can walk into pretty much anywhere with a suit and tie and people will listen to you. But basically what this does is basically you would plug it into the network, go out into the parking lot, or you know, a conference room or somewhere where you have somewhere where you can just log in with the Wi-Fi. You just log into the wireless signal that it's showing, and you would basically get the network where it's at, and basically you could do all your stuff from there. Nmap. You just run a bunch of things with Nmap. Kismet, you can sniff their wireless. I'm trying to actually work on a script for. There's a tool called Reaver, which does wireless cracking on WPS routers. I'm trying to get that to work. I haven't got it yet, but hopefully somewhere down the line. But it does have Kismet, all those other tools that you would need to really like work on a network. I mean, you would just scan the network, see what's out there, you know, and then you would have a better assessment of what's running on the network, what's vulnerable. There's a bunch of different things you could do. You can proxy commands through and, you know, run Metasploit off your laptop through it. Bunch of different things. One of the things I did work on with this device was a program called Tor, which is an anonymizer. Basically, you can be anywhere on the net and nobody knows where the hell you are. It started off as a Navy project that got open sourced. I know someone that works for the company, and they gave us a device called the Onion Box, which is basically a relay, or actually we have it as a bridge. It could be either a bridge or a relay. We have it working as a bridge, and basically what that is it's just a connection for people going onto the Tor network. They're basically pushing through our box first and then onto the network. Our device, we're messing around with it. We got an Onion server up on it, which is basically you get your own .onion address, which is a randomly generated address. There's pros and cons to it, I guess. People use it for good and bad. People are using it for hosting sites to sell drugs. There's people hosting it for porn. There's a bunch of different things. What we're using it for is basically just to play around with like this device here. I finally got Tor working on it, and we're able to drop this on a network and start up Tor on it and have it connect back to our Onion box here, basically over the network, over the Tor network. And what's good about that is, say I'm doing something evil, or I just don't want to be found, or somebody finds this and they're trying to figure out what it is, where it's going, and there's no way of really tracing that Onion address back to where it's going. So basically, I throw this on the network and somebody finds it, somebody logs into it and finds it connecting back to this Onion address. They're not going to know where it's going to, instead of connecting back to your actual IP address or your dynamic DNS name or anything like that. So the good thing about that is being a little bit incognito with your work. We're messing with the network before. I had it working probably like 2 weeks ago, but I was going to actually just demonstrate it, how it comes in. We have another logged into the Onion box, and basically you have access to the mini poner, remotely, so you don't have to be sitting in the parking lot looking suspicious with your laptop, or sitting in the building. Somebody's wondering what the hell you're doing in there. So basically, I have a bunch of stuff written up on our website for that. If anybody has any questions on that device, or if they want to mess around with it, it's open, so it's on the network. If anybody wants to log into it wirelessly and mess around just to see what it has on there and its features and everything.
Is there a username or password or anything for it?
Yeah, it's our normal one, but actually the Wi-Fi should be open. So if you see it, you'll see a wireless thing called Mini Poner. You can log into it. Username's root, password's password123, which is nice and simple. I figured that's the easiest thing to remember.
Your TV link take for power supply, is that like 12 volts?
It's 5 volts actually. So you can run a battery pack. I forgot actually to show that. You can run a battery pack. Sharper Image was nice enough to make a battery charger for your phone, which is roughly the same size as the TP-Link. So you can actually just either glue it or Velcro it to the top and just run a wire to charge it and all that. This thing, I think it was like $9 on Sharper Image, or you can get them on Amazon. So you can power it off something like that. You can power it off a battery supply. Yeah, USB it works. Solar powered if you're, got something to hold the battery in. But that's the great thing about it. It's small. It's nobody really knows what the hell it is, and a lot of times when people don't know, they don't touch stuff. So unless an actual admin goes in and what the hell is this? There's not going to be anybody that really recognizes what it's doing, or even if they do, they're not going to know too much of what's going on with it. Unless they had someone that was actually watching all the traffic. But once you hit on Tor, there's no finding out what's going on. So they'll see the scans coming from somewhere on the net, and they'll probably find it on the net, but it's not going to be. They're not going to know where it's going, or who has all the info that they collected.
Unless you've got like an application level firewall, like a Palo Alto, that's looking for stuff like that. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Any small business isn't going to have a fast firewall that nice.
Yeah, and
will that thing crack wireless networks?
Yeah, you can run Kismet on there and crack stuff. it's a bunch of different things. I haven't really played too much with it. I've been doing other things since I got it up and running. But there's a whole shitload of stuff that you can do to really get anything. I mean, and being that it's it's running its own wireless access point, you can sit there and beat on the network, from the inside to figure out what the hell's going on and how to get out if they're running some sort of weird proxy. You just check everything until you can get out and then fire everything up.
If you really wanted to mess with somebody, you could just like give that thing a battery, tell it to crack a wireless network, stick it to the bottom of their car, they pull into their garage and it starts cracking their wireless network. Then once it gets in, if you connect back to your door box there,
yep,
and you're in their network, you never even came near their house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. I was looking at that Python script called Wi-Fi. That basically it cracks all the wireless around you. So any web network, any WPA, it just sits there and beats on them. Tries to collect packets. It does the DAuth. It does pretty much everything that you need it to do automatically, and then it just saves it in a nice text file when it's done. All you do is just go collect it, and you have pretty much every password and all that stuff. Or you can send the information out to a better box. I mean, WPA, you're not going to want to try to crack that thing because the battery's going to die before that happens. But you can send off whatever PCAP file, off to another box and either email it out or FTP it out. Bunch of different things. And again, you could do that over the Tor network too. And there's no way of knowing where that stuff dumped off to. So again, that's a great thing about having the Tor stuff. So, anybody have any questions on that device? Or that's one of a few devices that I'm going to be showing. The next one is the something called the Teensy. Teensy device is something we're playing around with. That's actually if anybody's into electronics, there's a electronics board out there called the Arduino. This is basically a clone of that. Has a little bit of a different chipset on it. The great thing about it is it comes up as a HID device, which is like a USB mouse, keyboard. So when you plug it in, you basically whatever you can type or click with your mouse, basically you can do with this device. It's got a lot of extras that I don't really use. I was thinking about actually developing a board that just has a couple dip switches on it. That all you have to do is just program whatever the dip switches do, and you don't need all the extra pins and everything else on it. So, but basically, what I've been doing with it is just there's a program called Social Engineer Toolkit that's on Backtrack. My friend Dave wrote it. He started putting some stuff on there for the Arduino about the same time I started messing around with it last year. And what you could basically do is just have it spit out all types of things. Whatever you can type on the keyboard, it'll type out. So if you want to type out commands, it'll basically type out all the commands that you would normally type. Also, a good thing about it, it's cross-platform. So Apple, Linux, Windows, you can just basically plug into any box and it will just come up and start typing away. So if you have an open box that's not really locked down or somebody walked away, it takes a matter of like 15 seconds to just plug it in, have your code run, and you just walk off. If say like you're talking to a secretary at a front desk and she goes to get the manager, whoever you ask for, she walks away and her computer's sitting there. You just plug it in, wait 15 seconds, unplug it, and then the manager comes out and you're good to go.